You ever wonder why you're not where you want to be? You ever feel like you're pushing with everything you've got, but you're still stuck in the same damn place? It's not just you, it's the people around you. The wrong people will drain you, break you, and make sure you never rise. And if you don't cut them loose, they'll anchor you to the bottom until you drown. You want to be great? Then listen up, because I'm about to tell you about 5 types of people you need to cut out of your life right now. Number 1, the excuse maker. This is a person who always has a reason why something can't be done. They live in the land of I would, but. These people don't just make excuses for themselves. They'll make excuses for you. They'll tell you it's okay to quit because life is hard. They'll pat you on the back when you fail and say, at least you tried. Cut them out. Life doesn't care about your excuses. Your goals don't care about your feelings. If you let these people stay in your life, you'll start thinking like them, and before you know it, you're living their weak, excuse-filled life. Number 2, the energy vampire. You know this person, the one who always has drama, always has a problem, always needs something. They don't add anything to your life. They just take. Every time you're around them, you feel drained. You feel heavy, like they're sucking the life out of you. That's because they are. You can't afford to waste your energy on people who don't give anything back. Your mind, your focus, your drive, those are limited resources. Stop wasting them on people who just bring you down. Number 3, the hater in disguise. These people smile in your face, but secretly don't want you to win. They clap when you fail. They pretend to support you, but when you tell them your goals, they laugh. They tell you it's not realistic. They plant doubt in your mind because they're afraid you might actually make it. Real friends push you forward. Real people celebrate when you rise. If someone in your life gets weird when you start winning, cut them out. They don't deserve a front row seat to your success. Number 4, the comfortable one. This person is fine with where they are. No ambition, no hunger, no growth. They just exist. And they want you to exist right next to them. They'll say, why are you working so hard? Why can't you just relax? Here's why. Because greatness isn't comfortable. Success isn't easy. If you surround yourself with people who settle, you'll start settling too. Cut them out. Surround yourself with people who push, who grind, who demand more. That's the only way you grow. Number 5, the past anchor. This is a person who only sees you for who you used to be. They remind you of your failures. They talk about the old version of you, the one who was weak, who made mistakes, who gave up. They don't let you evolve because they can't handle your growth. The truth is, some people in your past weren't meant to come with you into your future, and that's okay. Cut them out. Let them watch from a distance while you become something they never believed you could be. Excuse makers keep you weak. You know what kills dreams faster than failure? Excuses. They creep into your mind like a virus, infecting everything you do. And the worst part, they don't always come from you. They come from the people around you. The ones who have made excuses their entire life and now want to pass that disease on to you. If you don't cut these people loose, you'll start sounding like them, thinking like them, and worst of all, becoming them. Excuse makers don't care about growth. They don't care about pushing limits. Their only mission in life is to stay comfortable and drag you down with them. They'll tell you it's okay to quit. They'll say you're only human. They'll remind you of how hard life is, not to help you push through, but to justify their own weakness. These people want company in their misery, and if you're not careful, you'll be their next victim. You ever notice how excuse makers always have a reason why things didn't work out? It's never their fault. It's the weather, their childhood, the government, their genetics, their boss, their bad luck. They never own anything. They never take responsibility. And if you're around them long enough, you'll start playing the same game. You'll start shifting blame instead of stepping up and owning your life. These people will trick you into thinking they care about you. They'll pat you on the back when you fail and say, it's okay, at least you tried. No, it's not okay. That kind of comfort is poison. It makes you soft. It makes you settle. The people you need in your life are the ones who say you failed. Good. Now get the hell up and do it again. But excuse makers don't want that. They want you to stop trying so they don't feel bad about their own failures. Excuse makers love to play the realist. They'll say, I'm just being practical when they shoot down your dreams. I'm just trying to be realistic. That's code for I'm afraid to chase my own goals, so I'm going to make you feel stupid for chasing yours. Cut these people out before their small-minded thinking infects you. They will kill your ambition one conversation at a time. And the worst part, you won't even realize it's happening until it's too late. Weak people always find reasons why things can't be done. But go look at anyone who has achieved greatness. They don't make excuses. They don't waste time talking about why something is impossible. They figure it out. They suffer through it. They break through every wall in their way. And they sure as hell don't surround themselves with people who make quitting sound like an option. You think the best in the world spend time with excuse makers. He's kill no. Excuse makers have mastered the art of self-pity. They love telling you how unfair life is. They want you to sit there and feel sorry for them. They want you to join their pity party so they don't have to feel alone in their weakness. The second you refuse to engage in their negativity, they'll call you cold. They'll say you don't care. But let me tell you something, if someone is committed to staying weak, you don't owe them your energy. You owe it to yourself to move on. If you keep excuse makers in your circle, they will slowly grind down your drive. You might think you're mentally strong enough to resist, but over time, their mindset will rub off on you. You'll start hesitating. You'll start second guessing yourself. You start believing their lies. And before you know it, you'll be one of them sitting around complaining about life, wondering why nothing is changing and blaming everything but yourself. It's hard to cut people out, especially if they've been in your life for a long time. Maybe they're family, maybe they're old friends. But listen, if someone is holding you back, you have a choice. Either keep them around and stay the same or cut them loose and rise. You can't do both. There's no middle ground. If you're serious about growth, about pushing past your limits, you have to be ruthless about who you allow in your life. Some people won't understand why you're cutting them off. They'll say you've changed. Damn right, you've changed. You've leveled up. You stopped tolerating weakness. And if they can't handle that, that's their problem, not yours. The people meant to be in your life will either grow with you or get left behind. And if they choose to stay stuck in their excuses, that's on them. You don't have time to babysit weak minds when you're out here chasing greatness. Think about your goals. Think about the version of yourself that you want to become. Now, ask yourself, does that version of you hang around excuse makers? Does that version of you waste time on people who do nothing but complain? Hell no. That version of you is too busy executing, too busy grinding, too busy becoming unstoppable. If you want to be that person, start acting like it now. And that means cutting the dead weight. Life is hard enough as it is. The last thing you need is people whispering doubt in your ear, giving you a way out when things get tough. You need people who push you, not people who comfort you in your failures. You need warriors around you, not cowards. Look at your circle. If it's full of people who make excuses, you're already losing. Cut them out and find people who demand more from you. That's the only way you're going to break past your limits. You might think, but I don't want to be alone. Listen to me, being alone and growing is 100 times better than being surrounded by people who keep you weak. And here's the secret: when you start leveling up, when you prove you're willing to do the work, you won't be alone for long. You'll attract other savages, you'll find people who match your energy. But that can't happen until you clear out the dead weight and make room for greatness. There are two types of people in this world: those who find a way and those who find an excuse. Which one are you? If you're still making excuses for why you haven't cut weak people out of your life, you're already losing. Do the hard thing. Make the tough call. Because the longer you wait, the deeper their mindset will sink into you. And before you know it, you'll wake up one day wondering how the hell you became just like them. Your life is your responsibility. Your success is on you. Stop surrounding yourself with people who give you permission to be weak. Stop listening to their excuses. Stop letting their fear become yours. Cut them out, lock in, and go all in on yourself. No more excuses, no more wasted time. You have work to do. Energy vampires drain your potential. Some people don't just waste your time, they steal your fire. They creep into your life disguised as friends, family, co-workers, even mentors. But watch closely. They don't push you forward. They don't sharpen you. They don't demand more from you. Instead, they suck the life out of you bit by bit until one day you wake up drained, uninspired, and lost. And the worst part, you won't even realize it's happening until it's too late. Energy vampires aren't always obvious. They don't always come in with negativity or complaints. Some just exist, taking up space in your mind, your time, your focus. You ever get off a phone call and feel exhausted even though you barely talked? That's not an accident. That's an energy vampire at work. They feed off your strength, your discipline, your hunger. They don't want you to succeed because if you do, it exposes their own weakness. These people never bring solutions, only problems. Every time you see them, they have a new crisis, a new excuse, a new reason why life is unfair. And what do they want? Your time, your attention, your energy. They want you to listen, to comfort them, to tell them everything will be okay. But here's the truth. They don't want to change. They don't want to put in the work. They just want to drain you so they can feel better about their own failures. You might think you're helping them. You might believe that by being there for them, you're doing something good. But wake up. These people don't want help. They want an audience. They want to keep you in the same weak cycle they're in, because the second you start growing, they lose control over you. And the more you entertain their nonsense, the further you get from your mission. You don't have time for that. Cut them off before they destroy you. Your energy is everything. It determines how hard you train, how focused you stay, how disciplined you remain. If your energy is constantly being drained by people who bring nothing to the table, you'll never reach your potential. You'll always be tired, always distracted, always wondering why you can't break through. The answer is simple. You're giving your power away to the wrong people, and that's on you. There's a reason the most successful people in the world don't surround themselves with weak minds. They don't tolerate negativity. They don't engage in pointless conversations. They don't entertain distractions. They protect their energy like it's life or death, because it is. And if you want to break through your limits, you need to start treating your energy the same way. Stop giving it away to people who don't deserve it. Energy vampires don't like seeing you grow. The second you start leveling up, they'll start questioning you. Why are you working so hard? Why don't you relax? Why don't you ever just chill? You know why? Because your drive exposes their laziness. Your discipline shames their excuses. Your hunger reminds them of everything they refuse to do. And instead of stepping up, they'll try to pull you down, cut them off before they succeed. When you distance yourself, energy vampires will panic. They'll call you selfish. They'll guilt trip you. They'll try to make you feel bad for choosing yourself. But let me tell you something. You are not responsible for their lack of discipline. You are not obligated to carry their dead weight. The only thing you owe yourself is your full potential. And if someone is standing in the way of that, they need to go. No hesitation, no second chances. You think warriors waste time on people who drain them? You think the best in the world let weak minds take up space in their head? Hell no, they protect their circle. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, sharpen them, push them further. You need to do the same. If someone isn't making you stronger, they're making you weaker. And if they're making you weaker, they're a liability. And liabilities don't belong in your life. Look around you. Take inventory of your circle. Be brutally honest. Who in your life gives you energy? Who pushes you to be better? And who drains you? Who leaves you tired, unmotivated, and stuck? The people you keep close will either make you unstoppable or break you down one conversation at a time. If you don't start cutting off the wrong ones, you'll never reach the level you're meant for. And that's on you. You might think, but I don't want to be alone. Listen, being alone and focused is 1,000 times better than being surrounded by people who keep you weak. And here's the secret. When you start operating at a higher level, you'll attract other savages. People who match your intensity, people who make you sharper. But that won't happen if your energy is being wasted on people who don't belong in your life. Some of you are too nice. You make excuses for energy vampires. You say, you've always been in my life, or I don't want to hurt their feelings. Wake up. They don't care about your success. They don't care about your future. They only care about keeping you at their level so you have to face their own failures. And the longer you let them stay, the harder it will be to break free. Cut them off now before they bury you. Every second you spend on weak people is a second you're not pushing yourself. And guess what? Those seconds add up. Days, months, years. And before you know it, you'll look back and realize you never reached your full potential because you spent too much time entertaining weakness. You have a choice. Stay surrounded by people who drain you, or get serious about protecting your energy and becoming unstoppable. Your mission is too important. Your life is too short. Your potential is too great. Stop letting the wrong people take up space in your head. Stop giving your energy away to those who don't deserve it. Stop allowing weak minds to hold you back. Take control of your life, cut the dead weight, and go all in on yourself. No more distractions, no more wasted time, only progress. The doubters who plant seeds of failure. You ever notice how some people never support you, but they always have something to say when you start chasing something big? The moment you step outside the comfort zone, the moment you start pushing past your limits, they show up. And they don't attack you outright. No, they're smarter than that. Instead, they drop little comments, little doubts, little whispers that start to creep into your mind. If you don't shut them down fast, those doubts will bury you. These people act like they're just looking out for you. They say things like, are you sure it's realistic? Or what if it doesn't work out? They pretend to be concerned, but they're really just projecting their own fears onto you. They don't believe in themselves, so they can't believe in you. They don't have the courage to chase their own dreams, so they try to talk you out of chasing yours. And the worst part, most people listen. Doubt is a virus. It starts small. One little thought, one little question, one little hesitation. And if you let it sit in your mind, it spreads. It grows stronger. It starts to sound like logic, like wisdom. And before you know it, you're standing still, second guessing yourself, paralyzed by the very thing you were meant to conquer. These doubters know that. That's why they plant the seed, because if they can't move forward, they damn sure don't want you to. People who truly believe in you don't plant doubt. They challenge you, they push you, they demand more from you. They don't say, are you sure? They say, go prove it. They don't say, that's too hard. They say, get to work. They don't sit there analyzing all the reasons something might not work. They help you find the way to make it work. That's the difference between real support and disguised negativity. Know the difference. The worst doubters aren't even the ones who challenge you outright. It's the subtle ones. The ones who act supportive, but deep down, they don't believe in you. Pay attention. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in their face when you talk about your goals. They smile, but there's hesitation. They nod, but there's doubt in their eyes. They say that's cool, but they never ask about your progress because they're waiting for you to fail. Doubt can't exist where confidence lives. If you train your mind to reject doubt immediately, it has no power. You hear someone say, that's really hard, and you say, good. You hear, that's impossible, and you say, watch me. You hear, are you sure? And you say, I don't need to be sure. I'll figure it out. Every time someone plants a seed of doubt, you burn it down before it can take root. But that's how you stay strong. Most people never reach their full potential because they let small doubts stop them before they even begin. They let the wrong people into their heads. They give too much weight to the opinions of weak minds. Let me tell you something. If someone has never done what you're trying to do, their opinion means nothing. Why would you listen to someone who's never walked the path you're on? Their doubt is useless. You need to be ruthless about who you let speak into your life. If someone isn't pushing you forward, they don't deserve a voice in your journey. If someone's words make you hesitate instead of accelerate, they don't deserve your energy. If someone's presence makes you doubt instead of believe, they don't deserve to be in your circle. Your mind is a fortress, and you can't let just anyone walk through the gates. When you start cutting doubters out, you'll feel lighter, you'll move faster, you'll think clearer, but be ready. Some of them will try to pull you back in. They'll say you're being arrogant. They'll say you're acting like you're better than them. But let's get one thing straight. It's not arrogance to protect your vision. It's not arrogance to refuse to let weak people poison your mindset. It's survival. Look back at your life. How many times have you stopped yourself because someone planted a doubt in your mind? How many chances did you not take because someone made you hesitate? How much time have you wasted wondering if you were good enough instead of just going for it? Add up all those moments. That's what listening to doubters has cost you. And if you don't change now, it will cost you even more. You have to build a mind that rejects doubt on sight. No hesitation, no entertaining it, no letting it sink in. Someone tells you it's too hard, good. Hard things make you stronger. Someone says most people fail, good. You're not most people. Someone says they don't think you can do it, good. They don't get a vote. When you start thinking like this, doubt becomes fuel, not a roadblock. You might think, but some of these people are my friends, my family. Doesn't matter. If they're filling your head with doubt, they're slowing you down. And if they really cared about you, they wouldn't be feeding you weakness. They'd be helping you get stronger. You don't have time to carry other people's fears. You don't have time to let small minds keep you from big goals. Let them stay where they are. You have work to do. The people who succeed are the ones who believe in themselves more than anyone else does. Even when no one else sees the vision, even when no one else thinks they can do it, even when the whole world is doubting them, they move forward anyway. That's the mindset you need. That's the attitude that will take you from where you are to where you're meant to be. But you can't get there if you let doubters slow you down. Take a hard look at your circle. Who's pushing you? Who's making you better? And who's making you doubt yourself? If someone isn't fueling your fire, they're trying to put it out. And if they're trying to put it out, they are the enemy. And enemies don't belong in your space. Cut them loose, keep moving forward, and never let another person's doubt become your limitation. The excuse makers who infect your mind. You ever notice how some people always have a reason why they can't do something? Why they couldn't wake up early, why they didn't train, why they never took action. Their life is just a series of excuses, back to back, nonstop. And if you let them stay in your world, their mindset will infect you like a disease. Excuses spread fast. These people are professional victims. Nothing is ever their fault. The weather was bad, their boss was unfair, their parents didn't support them, they're too tired, too stressed, too busy every single time. There's a reason why they couldn't show up. But you know what the truth is? They just didn't want it bad enough. And deep down, they know that. That's why they try to convince you that their excuses are valid so they don't have to face the fact that they quit. Weak minds love excuses because excuses make failure acceptable. If they can blame something outside of themselves, they don't have to take responsibility. And if they don't take responsibility, they never have to change. That's why they stay exactly where they are, year after year. No growth, no progress, just the same tired stories about why they can't get ahead. You cannot let these people stay in your world. They are poison. It starts small. You hang around an excuse maker long enough, and their mindset starts creeping into yours. They tell you, man, you work too hard. They say you need to take it easy. They start planting the idea that maybe discipline isn't necessary. And if you're not locked in, you start slipping. You start justifying why you skipped the workout, why you hit snooze, why you didn't do the hard thing. And before you know it, you're just like them, weak. Excuse makers aren't just lazy, they're dangerous. They can destroy your progress without you even realizing it. Because they're not coming at you with direct negativity. They're coming at you with comfort. They want you to relax, to slow down, to take a break. But what they're really doing is pulling you into their mediocre reality. They don't want you to rise because if you do, it exposes how little effort they put into their own life. You have to be ruthless when it comes to excuses. Zero tolerance. No exceptions. The second you hear someone justifying their own weakness, cut them off. Don't entertain it. Don't argue. Just get away from them, because the second you start debating excuses, you're already losing. Your mind should be so locked in that the idea of an excuse sounds insane to you. You don't negotiate with weakness. You eliminate it. Look at the people around you. How many of them live in excuses? How many of them spend more time talking about problems than solving them? How many of them always have a reason why they can't do something, but never a plan for how they will? If you're surrounded by people like that, you're in danger, because over time, that mindset will become normal to you. And once it becomes normal, you'll stop seeing it for what it really is, a disease. Excuse makers don't just fail, they try to drag everyone down with them. Misery loves company. Weakness loves validation. And if you're pushing yourself, if you're out there grinding, they don't like that, because every step you take forward reminds them of how little they're doing. So they'll start trying to slow you down. They'll tell you you're obsessed. They'll call you crazy. They'll try to make you feel guilty for wanting more. Cut them off before they succeed. You know what's crazy? The most successful people in the world don't have fewer obstacles. They don't have easier lives. They just refuse to make excuses. They don't care if they're tired, if it's raining, if they're injured, if people don't support them. They show up anyway. That's the difference between winners and losers. Winners find a way. Losers find an excuse. Which one are you? And more importantly, who are you surrounding yourself with? Your environment shapes you. Your circle will either push you to be unstoppable or infect you with weakness. If you keep excuse makers around, you will become one of them. There's no way around it. You will start lowering your standards. You will start justifying failure. You will start settling. And once you start settling, you lose your edge. And once you lose your edge, you're done. Excuse makers don't just ruin their own lives, they ruin yours too. Some of you are too nice. You feel bad cutting people off. You think, but they've been in my life for years. Who cares? Are they pushing you forward? Or are they holding you back? Because if someone is making you weaker, they are the enemy. And you don't keep enemies close. You eliminate them. You have to be willing to walk alone if that's what it takes to protect your mindset. Because your mindset is the only thing standing between you and greatness. Every time you let an excuse slip by, you train your mind to accept failure. And every time you train your mind to accept failure, you get weaker. It's that simple. You want to be successful. Then you need to build an environment that rejects excuses completely. No complaining, no blaming, no justifying. Either you did what you were supposed to do or you didn't. And if you didn't, the only person responsible is you. Look around your life. Who are the excuse makers? Who are the people constantly feeding you weakness, laziness, and mediocrity? And ask yourself, do they belong in your world? Because if the answer is no, you know what you need to do. Stop explaining, stop justifying, cut them off and move forward. No more entertaining weakness. No more excuses, only results. You don't have time to waste on people who refuse to take responsibility for their own life. You don't have time to argue with people who are committed to losing. And you definitely don't have time to let their excuses infect your mind. Get serious about your future. Protect your energy. Cut out the excuse makers and go all in on your potential. That's the only way to win. The energy leeches who drain your fire. Some people don't want to see you win. They don't attack you directly, and they don't always throw doubt in your face. Instead, they latch onto you like parasites, draining your energy, wasting your time, and pulling you into their problems. These people are energy leeches, and if you don't cut them loose, they will suck the life out of you before you even realize what's happening. You'll wake up one day exhausted, frustrated, and stuck all because you let them stay. Energy leeches come in many forms. Some always need something from you, your time, your attention, your validation. They never handle their own problems because why would they? They have you to carry the weight for them. Others are just pure negativity, constantly complaining, always talking about how life is unfair. And every time you're around them, you feel drained, heavy, like your fire is being smothered. That's no coincidence. Every conversation with an energy leech is the same. They dump their problems on you, and when you try to help, they ignore your advice. Because they don't want solutions. They want sympathy. They want someone to confirm that life is unfair, that they're a victim, that they're justified in staying weak. And if you're not careful, they will turn you into one of them. You'll start carrying their weight until it breaks you. You think you're being a good friend by always being there, always listening, always trying to help? But what are you really doing? You're wasting energy on people who don't want to change. You're giving your time to people who will never give back. And every moment you spend dealing with their problems is a moment you're not spending getting stronger, getting smarter, getting closer to your own goals. You are being robbed. Every conversation with an energy leech is the same. They dump their problems on you. And when you try to help, they ignore your advice because they don't want solutions. They want sympathy. They want someone to confirm that life is unfair, that they're a victim, that they're justified in staying weak. And if you're not careful, they will turn you into one of them. You'll start carrying their weight until it breaks you. You think you're being a good friend by always being there, always listening, always trying to help. But what are you really doing? You're wasting energy on people who don't want to change. You're giving your time to people who never give back. And every moment you spend dealing with their problems is a moment you're not spending getting stronger, getting smarter, getting closer to your own goals. You are being robbed. Energy leeches know exactly what they're doing. They don't want to be alone in their misery, so they pull you into it. They test you little by little, seeing how much you'll take. And if you don't stop them early, they will keep taking. They will keep using you. They will keep draining you. And before long, your fire will be gone. You will have the energy to chase your own dreams because you spent it all dealing with their nonsense. Your energy is your most valuable resource. It's more valuable than money, more valuable than talent, more valuable than connections. Because without energy, you can't do anything. You can't train, can't work, can't grow. And if you surround yourself with people who constantly drain you, you will never reach your full potential. You will burn out before you even get close. You have to learn to protect your energy ruthlessly. That means cutting people off, even if they've been in your life for years. That means saying no, even when it feels uncomfortable. That means refusing to let people dump their negativity on you. Because every time you let it slide, you are choosing weakness over strength. You are choosing to let someone else control your mind, your emotions, and your focus. That is unacceptable. People who are serious about winning don't let energy leeches into their world. Look at the most disciplined, the most successful, the most relentless people. They are extremely selective about who they let in. If someone isn't bringing value, they're gone. If someone is draining their focus, they're gone. If someone is wasting their time, they're gone. No hesitation, no guilt, just results. Weak people will try to make you feel bad for cutting them off. They'll call you selfish. They'll say you've changed. They'll try to guilt you into keeping them around. But let's be clear, protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's survival. You can't save anyone if you're drained, exhausted, and broken. You can't be your best self if you're constantly weighed down by other people's problems. Your focus is not up for debate. Look at your life right now. Who is adding to your energy? Who is draining it? Be honest. Because if someone is taking more than they're giving, they are not your friend. They are your enemy. They may not be attacking you outright, but they are slowing you down, keeping you distracted, keeping you weak. And if you don't cut them loose, you will pay the price. You can always tell when someone is an energy leech by how you feel after talking to them. Do you feel stronger, more motivated, more focused, or do you feel tired, annoyed, and frustrated? That's your answer. That's all you need to know. And once you see it, you can't ignore it. You have two choices. Cut them off and level up, or keep them around and stay stuck. There is no middle ground. Some of you are keeping people around because you're afraid of being alone. But let me tell you something. It's better to walk alone than to walk with people who are holding you back. It's better to have an empty circle than to have a circle full of people draining you. Because when you cut out the energy leeches, you make room for real ones. People who push you, challenge you, and make you better. But you won't find them if you're too busy carrying dead weight. This is your life, your energy, your future. And every second you waste on an energy leech is a second you could have spent building something great. If you want to win, if you want to be unstoppable, you have to be brutal about who you let in. You have to stop carrying people who refuse to carry themselves. And if that means cutting off friends, family, whoever, so be it. Your potential is worth more than their comfort. No more excuses, no more justifications, no more carrying dead weight. Look at your life right now and cut out the energy leeches. Reclaim your fire, protect your focus, and never let anyone drain you again. This is the price of greatness. You either pay it or you stay weak. Your choice. The dream killers who don't believe in you. Some people in your life don't want you to win. They don't say it outright, but you can feel it. The second you start chasing something bigger, they get uncomfortable. They start doubting you, making little comments, planting seeds of hesitation in your mind. These people are dream killers. And if you let them stay in your world, they will destroy your potential before you even get started. They don't believe in themselves, so they can't believe in you. Dream killers come in many forms. Some are disguised as friends and family, telling you to be realistic, play it safe, or not get your hopes up. Others are straight up haters, mocking your ambitions, laughing at your goals, waiting for you to fail. But the worst ones, the ones who pretend to support you, but secretly hope you don't make it. They smile to your face, but they doubt you behind your back. That's poison. You can feel it in their energy. When you talk about your goals, they don't get excited. They don't ask questions. They don't offer help. Instead, they get quiet. They change the subject. They make little comments like, that sounds hard, or are you sure about that? And if you're not locked in, those words will creep into your mind. You'll start second guessing yourself. You'll start hesitating. And hesitation is the first step toward failure. Every big dream sounds impossible to weak minds. Every major goal looks ridiculous to people who have already given up on themselves. And when you come around with your fire, your ambition, your drive, it exposes their weakness. It reminds them that they settled. It reminds them that they stopped trying. So instead of supporting you, they try to pull you back down to their level, because if they can't rise, they don't want you to either. You have to understand this. Not everyone wants you to succeed. Some people like you exactly where you are, comfortable, predictable, non-threatening. The second you start aiming higher, they see you as a problem. They see you as a threat. Because if you succeed, they lose the excuse that life is holding them back. If you succeed, they have to face the fact that they could have done more. And they'd rather see you fail than admit that truth. Dream killers will disguise their doubt as concern. They'll say they just don't want you to get hurt. They'll tell you they're just looking out for you. But pay attention, real supporters don't doubt you. They push you. They challenge you, they help you, they remind you that you're capable. Dream killers do the opposite. They plant fear. They make you second guess. They make you play small. And if you're not careful, you'll start shrinking to fit their limitations. You need to make a decision. Are you willing to go after your dreams no matter what? Because if the answer is yes, then you need to cut out every single person who doesn't believe in you. No more explaining, no more defending, no more trying to convince them. Just move in silence and prove them wrong. Because if you spend your energy trying to get validation from people who don't believe in you, you'll waste your entire life waiting for approval that will never come. When you're chasing something big, you need to protect your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Your belief is everything. And if you let even a little doubt slip in, it will grow. It will spread. It will start to poison your confidence. That's why you have to be ruthless about who you let in your circle. If someone isn't pushing you forward, they don't belong in your world. Simple as that. You think the greats sat around listening to doubters. You think the most successful people spent time justifying their dreams to small-minded people. Absolutely not. They didn't wait for approval. They didn't waste time convincing anyone. They got to work. They proved it through action. And by the time the doubters realized they were wrong, it was too late. That's how you have to move. No debate, no hesitation, just results. Look at your circle. Who believes in you? Who pushes you? Who actually wants to see you win? And who makes you feel small, hesitant, doubtful? Be honest. Because your future depends on it. If someone isn't adding to your fire, they're putting it out. And if they're putting it out, they are a threat. And threats need to be eliminated. No emotion, no guilt. Just the reality that if you keep dream killers in your life, you will never reach your full potential. Some of you are afraid to cut people off because you've known them forever. But let me tell you something, loyalty to the wrong people will destroy you. You don't owe anyone your potential. You don't owe anyone your dreams. And if someone isn't supporting you, you don't owe them a place in your life. It's that simple. The people who truly care about you will push you, challenge you, and believe in you even when no one else does. Success is lonely, not because you can't find good people, but because you have to leave the wrong ones behind. The price of greatness is sacrifice. And if that means walking alone for a while, so be it. Because when you start winning, when you start proving what you're capable of, the right people will show up. But they'll never find you if you're still surrounded by doubters and small-minded people. Every great success story started with someone who refused to listen to doubters. Every champion, every icon, every legend had people telling them they couldn't do it. But they didn't let that stop them. They used it as fuel. They took that doubt and turned it into undeniable proof. And that's exactly what you need to do. No more explanations. No more waiting for support. Just work. And when the results come, the doubters will have nothing left to say. This is your time, your dream, your future. And you need to decide, are you going to let dream killers keep you small? Or are you going to cut them off and go all in? The choice is yours. But remember this, every second you spend with people who don't believe in you is a second you could have spent proving them wrong. No more hesitation, no more excuses. Cut them off and make it happen. Cut the dead weight or die with it. This is your life, your mission, your fight. And you need to decide, are you going to let weak, toxic, negative people weigh you down, or are you going to cut them off and go all in? Because every second you waste on people who drain you, doubt you, or hold you back is a second you could have spent getting stronger, getting sharper, and building the life you were meant to live. That's the price of success. Either you pay it or you stay weak. There's no other way. Look around. Look at the people in your life. Who is pushing you forward? Who is making you better? And who is pulling you back? Be brutally honest. Because the truth is, not everyone deserves to go where you're going. Not everyone deserves access to you. If someone is slowing you down, it doesn't matter if they're family, a childhood friend, or someone you've known for years, they have to go. No apologies, no second chances, just action. Weak people hesitate. They make excuses. They convince themselves that they can hold on to toxic relationships and still reach their goals. But that's a lie. You can't fly if you're carrying dead weight. You can't rise if you're surrounded by people who are drowning. And if you refuse to cut them off, you will sink with them. That's not a possibility. That's a guarantee. And you better decide right now which side you want to be on. The most disciplined, relentless, unstoppable people in the world don't let weak links into their lives. They don't waste time trying to fix people who refuse to fix themselves. They don't beg for approval. They don't keep energy leeches around out of guilt. They cut, they move, they level up. And that's why they win. Not because they're special, but because they refuse to let dead weight hold them back. That's the mentality you need. If you don't get serious about this, you will wake up one day filled with regret, knowing that you wasted your potential because you were too afraid to let go of people who never wanted to see you win. Is that the life you want? A life where you played small because you kept the wrong people around? Or do you want to look back, knowing you gave everything, knowing you chose strength over weakness, discipline over comfort, and victory over excuses? This is the moment. No more waiting. No more debating. Cut them off. Lock in. And never let anyone slow you down again. Your future is on the line. Now go take what's yours.